Hello everyone, my name is Daniel and today we're going to talk about the curriculum planning, specifically in the human dimension. It's not a secret that for creating a curriculum, you have to think about the necessity of the student and the necessity of the society, so about their needs. But when you're going to plan the curriculum, also we have to consider, for example, the role, the knowledge, and the skill that are required in a curriculum leaders. Basically, every time that the school year gonna start, this is a mixture of expert meeting, activities, people involved and even the superintendent. However, the school is from the school district, or they have the school have his own council, okay, or they have some strategies that can serve this goal beside of the variation that half a school, for example, is always going to be a variation from a school to a school. Um, Always the idea is that the institutional education is placed in which has to make the player accept and carry out uh, the mutually reinforcing in the rules, basically. So that's gonna be you're gonna face some difference among the faculties. When um, to succeed in improving the curriculum depends in the majority of most of the time in the difference among the individuals, workers, and the curricular groups. This also they're gonna create an effort, so because they have to create a consensus and the goal of determining that the school so personal traits are significantly different amongst individuals. There can be many, can be very complex, and it can be a success or failure. This is gonna depend of how they gonna try, or how they gonna fix each other. This can make the curriculum, but also can break the curriculum. So you have to be all of this, or how they're gonna depend on how the community and parents and the student gonna interact. Also, they're gonna have different variables, or variables that depends on in a place. So the when you have the presence of the answer, the absence of a particular skill, and the try the degree to the which individual possess is create an impact. So every time that an individual related with a person, they gonna always gonna impact, or they gonna make some kind of influence. So in this case, the process that is very important in the process, the strong competence in, for example, in leadership. So it can demonstrate how to work together, how to make the members work together of a group and become and unify the movement. So this become or bring us something that is called the cast of the player. Actually, it is called a cast by some actually use the analogy of cast, that is because the support that receive the actor. In this case, we should keep in mind the interaction among the institute. The institute, not only in the curriculum development, but also in the total life of the school. So always has to be this kind of support. When we speak about the school, also have to involve what is the role of the administrator. So the curriculum um, gonna fail out without the support of the head commander, or the people in charge. Okay, so it's gonna be independent if their roles are institutional or primary manager. So the principal role is pointing out how you're gonna do, how they're gonna be, or how the role of the principal basically is set out the task, or recognize the administrator, recognize the task of the institution. So no matter how his or her are present, has to be permanently by the player, or have to feel the presence. When we speak about the administrator, also we have think about what is the mainly the two theory. So we have theory X and theory Y. So the theory X is basically the negative part. So they're gonna focus in for example, some players that are log on solving problems or log on dealing with another person or have log of initiative. When we speak about the Y theory, is basically the good part. So the people is always have to respond, always have some mutual respect by the partners, or this person have always a kind of attitude that can actually solve the problems. Role of the student. The role of the student are obviously the most important in the curriculum. That is actually we have to consider. But even a new administrator, teaching don't like is that sharing the don't like sharing the taking decision part. So they don't like actually even don't like to receive test, and even the students are who are qualified to analyze or research the process of the curriculum. This point give you to the even there are the people that can judge or can get a feedback, but there are who feel the effect or the curriculum is developed for them. That's become in what that say when we speak about the student also have to focus in the involvement of the student. So according to Ronald Dahl, the involvement of the school and the students in this area have growing up lately. So this gonna it's not so lately. Become from 1960. So there were some kind of movement that the student can communicate reaction, and even they depend on a lot of variables like intelligence, motivation, and knowledge, including the major maturity. So that's actually they take the older guys now, for example, the senior, and this they involve these guys in this kind of situation. They have the student, they try to make the student proactive, so the student has to be proactive about the curriculums on taking decisions. Also you have to focus in what is the role of the citizen. So actually it's a kind of history because citizens don't have actually they don't use to involve so much, so they exchange the this role has changed over the years. So a student or parents take a boy, give you to some kind that is called informal education. They take the student, go to the student, or not the student, the pupil. So learn some art, and sometime or a few times receive a kind of remuneration. And was the kind of education that the education that they receive. Obviously, this has changed in the latest years. In this situation right now, the community and the school, so there is a kind of erosion in this world. So the things fortunately have changed. So actually, there are a lot of parents. Members of the community that are getting involved in the school problems or in the school decision or making. Even they don't like even go, so even they notify the parents, they don't used to go over there. So but the school also has realized the important that is the build a good structure between the society and the school. So the society and the political education and the institution. Obviously, all this happen beside the social problems, and there are a lot of problems in the society that the school is so difficult to keep solving. So they don't have the responsibility, or they don't have the way. So the um, the school sometimes, for example, in this case, uh, now the school have to support the meat or the food for the student, that actually is no responsibility to the school, but they also try to get solve the problem in order to achieve the curriculum in diverse aspects. Even you have to also the something that is called the state and a national initiative. So they in this case from 1967, the nation have empowered the school. So in order the initiative involving the community, so they have, for example, publishing reports, annual reports, consulting and maintaining improvement, school district. So some school districts that don't have the amount of students that is actually completed. So is there are also have to think in or concern about socioeconomic, democratic, and the community appropriate balance in between the member of the personal education support and the community. At the end, we have also the role of the worker. There is a lot of work involved. In this case, also we're going to have the focus in the role, for example, of the teachers. Um, Basically, the teachers are the majority of the members of the curriculum, so they can be empowered, and most important, they can be in in all the stage of this um, in every stage of showing the power in the teacher. Even they don't like acting going to improve a normal or increasing this is gonna basically they're gonna improve the the school productivity. So gonna have a better improvement or very result for the students. um, when all of this is requirement that is pretty important is the leader skill. So sometimes when you create a leader, so sometimes it's crucial. That can be, for example, intelligent, have experience, assertive, politician, clever, free on the personal powers if there are more critical. But according to the author, is so difficult that you can find all the qualities in a leader. So it's mostly gonna depend of and leader gonna have basically two approach. Is monocratic approach. In this, they take the decision of focus always in the first position or the step, the authority, and the other um, is no so traditional. So in this case, you have in another way the people don't feel so expendable. So it's more democratic, can have some kind of participation of is empowered. It's a kind of college approach. Okay. Basically, in conclusion, it's not easy to be in the shoes of principal or the head leader in this case, but actually the education is growing up, and in a superintendent have to manage is the idea how the superintendent gonna manage the school or the group become a member of support. Okay, have a nice day.